if we were to do this in the way that we look at in the paper, which again is really ambitious, right, what we find is that employing 15 to 19 million people puts additional income into that many people's hands, which then the most of that gets spent into the economy, which through secondary effects has, positive spillover to the economy, right? I get a job, I currently don't work, now I have a job and I have an income, I go out and I spend. Now some restaurant gets, some revenue that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and some profit. So they hire another busboy. And you know how the multiplier works in economics, you get a benefit to the economy as a whole. So our research says that this kind of program would add $500 to $600 billion a year on average to real GDP. So it's a real shot in the arm for the economy. And of course, if you take 15 million or so people and give them an income that they then start spending into the economy, you would expect a pretty significant boost to economic activity. The concern would be, but what if you overheat things? What if all of that spending is just too much and the economy can't accommodate all of that additional demand? Then you'd end up with an inflation problem, which would be potentially disastrous depending on how bad it got. But what we were able to show is that there's so much slack in the economy today. Businesses are operating with all kinds of extra unused capacity. There's plenty of room to ramp up demand without creating an inflation problem. People will say the economy is close to full employment, but if you actually look at how much spare capacity there is, we can fill a huge void, adding to real GDP, raising incomes, boosting economic output with a modest increase in inflation. And so that's what we would be looking at. That would be the risk.